First strike. The U.S. Hyperion drifted silently through the Orion Nebula's outer reaches, its quantum sensors probing the cosmic dust for any sign of movement. Commander Elena Santos stood at the bridge's main viewport, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling clouds of purple and blue gas that concealed her prey. The ship's stealth systems, reverse-engineered from recovered alien tech, made them virtually invisible to conventional scanners. Contact, Lieutenant Park whispered from his station, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Multiple signatures bearing 037. Energy patterns matched Nexar warships. Santos allowed herself a grim smile. After 6 months of tracking the Nexar fleet's movements, they'd finally found their staging area. The alien empire had been probing Earth's outer colonies for weeks, testing defenses and gathering intelligence. But they hadn't counted on humanity's newest warship finding them first. How many? Santos asked, already calculating possibilities in her head. 27 vessels, Commander. Mostly medium cruisers, but I'm detecting 3 Dreadnought-class ships. They're in standard attack formation. Park's voice remained steady, but his hands trembled slightly. The Nexar were notorious for their brutality and conquest. Santos moved to the tactical display, studying the holographic representation of the alien fleet. The Nexar ships were beautiful in their own way, all sharp angles and crystalline structures that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Their technology was centuries ahead of Earth's, or at least it had been until recently. They're preparing for a major assault, Santos concluded. Those numbers could overwhelm the defenses at New Eden Colony. She turned to her crew, noting the tension in their faces. Options. First Officer David Chen spoke up, his cybernetic eye glowing faintly as he processed tactical data. Standard protocol would be to retreat and warn the colony. Even with our advanced systems, we're drastically outnumbered. The Nexar would detect our quantum wake if we try to leave. Lieutenant Commander Rhea Singh countered from the weapons station. They'd know someone had found them. They'd accelerate their timeline. Santos nodded, having already reached the same conclusion. Then we make sure they don't detect anything at all. She straightened her uniform. Decision made. Battle stations. Initiate Ghost Protocol. The bridge lights dimmed as the Hyperion's most classified systems came online. Throughout the ship, quantum processors spooled up, tapping into dimensional frequencies that the Nexar's sensors couldn't perceive. The ship's AI, Araya, manifested as a subtle blue glow in the air. Ghost Protocol initiated, Araya announced. Quantum field generators at maximum capacity. We are operating in parallel spacetime. Santos allowed herself a moment of pride in human ingenuity. The Ghost Protocol was the product of thousands of brilliant minds working together, combining theoretical physics with practical engineering in ways that would have seemed impossible just a decade ago. It allowed the Hyperion to exist partially out of phase with normal spacetime, making them not just invisible, but virtually incorporeal. Weapons status? Santos asked. Quantum torpedoes primed, Singh reported. Dimensional disruptors charged. We have enough power for 3 full salvos before we need to revert to normal space. Santos studied the tactical display again. The Nexar fleet was arranging itself into attack formations, unaware that humanity's newest defender was about to change the rules of engagement. They still thought they were dealing with a primitive species that had barely mastered faster-than-light travel. Target their command ships first, Santos ordered. Time on target barrage, full spread. Let's show them exactly what humanity is capable of. She paused, looking at each member of her crew. What we do here today will echo across the galaxy. The Nexar think they're hunting us. Time to show them who the real predators are. The Hyperion's quantum drives hummed to life, positioning the ship for optimal firing solutions while remaining out of phase with normal space. On the tactical display, targeting solutions appeared as ghostly lines connecting their position to the 3 Nexar dreadnoughts. Fire control solutions locked, Singh announced. Ready on your order. Santos took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. This would be humanity's first major offensive action against a superior alien force. The outcome would determine not just the fate of New Eden colony, but Earth's standing among the galactic powers. Fire. The Hyperion shuddered as quantum torpedoes phased into normal space at point-blank range inside the Nexar ship's shields. The alien vessels, their crews unaware until the final millisecond, had no time to react. 3 simultaneous explosions lit up the nebula like newborn stars as the mighty dreadnoughts were torn apart from within. Direct hits, Singh reported, her voice tight with controlled excitement. All 3 command ships neutralized. Enemy fleet is in disarray. Phase shift complete, Araya announced. We have returned to normal spacetime. Enemy vessels are responding to our presence. The remaining Nexar ships, their formation shattered by the loss of their command vessels, began to turn toward the Hyperion's position. But Santos knew they were already too late. The impossible had happened. A single human warship had just dealt a devastating blow to one of the galaxy's most powerful fleets. Open a channel, Santos ordered. Let's give them a chance to surrender before we demonstrate any more of humanity's capabilities. As the communication system activated, Santos allowed herself a small smile. The Nexar had grossly miscalculated. They thought they were dealing with primitives, easy prey for their empire's expansion. Instead, they'd just learned a costly lesson about human ingenuity and determination. The battle for New Eden had begun, and humanity had fired the first shot. The quantum advantage. Alarms blared across the Nexar fleet as the remaining ships scrambled to respond to the unprecedented attack. On the Hyperion's bridge, Commander Santos watched the alien vessels attempting to form a defensive sphere, their crystalline hulls gleaming with activated shield systems. They're attempting to establish a quantum lock on our position, Lieutenant Park reported, his fingers flying over his console. Their sensors are cycling through all known detection frequencies. Let them try, Santos replied, confidence evident in her voice. Araya, initiate quantum field modulation sequence. The ship's A responded immediately, its blue holographic presence pulsing with increased activity, implementing random phase variants. Our quantum signature will appear to be in multiple locations simultaneously. On the tactical display, the Hyperion signature split into dozens of ghost images, each one appearing as real as the others to the Nexar's advanced sensors. It was another triumph of human innovation, the ability to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously, making it impossible for enemies to determine their true location. Incoming transmission, Chen announced. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. Put it through, Santos ordered, straightening her uniform. A holographic image materialized on the bridge. A Nexar High Commander, its crystalline exoskeleton glowing with barely contained energy. When it spoke, its words were translated by the ship's systems. Unknown vessel, you have committed an act of war against the Nexar Dominion. Your primitive deceptions cannot protect you. Surrender now, and we may spare your colony worlds from complete annihilation. Santos stepped forward, her expression stern. This is Commander Elena Santos of the Earth Defense Force vessel Hyperion. You entered Earth-controlled space with an invasion fleet. We merely responded to your aggression. I suggest you reconsider your position. The Nexar commander's crystalline form pulsed with what might have been amusement. Your species barely understands quantum mechanics. This trick with your sensors will not save you from. The alien's words cut off as Singh activated the ship's quantum disruptors. The energy field caused the Nexar's crystalline technology to temporarily desynchronize from normal spacetime, disrupting their communications and shields simultaneously. They're about to learn how wrong they are about our understanding of quantum mechanics, Singh said, allowing herself a small smile. Santos nodded. Araya, initiate Protocol Schrödinger. The A's presence expanded throughout the bridge. Protocol Schrödinger active. Quantum entanglement network established with all Earth defense platforms within range. This was humanity's true advantage. They hadn't just mastered quantum technology, they'd revolutionized it. Through quantum entanglement, the Hyperion could instantly coordinate with every defense platform and ship in the sector, sharing targeting data and tactical information without any delay. The remaining Nexar ships launched a barrage of energy weapons, their crystalline beams slicing through space where they detected Hyperion signatures. But they were firing at ghosts, quantum echoes of a ship that existed in multiple states simultaneously. Their weapon systems are based on crystalline quantum technology, Singh reported. Each time they fire, our systems learn more about their underlying quantum architecture. Santos smiled. Then let's show them what we've learned. Area, tactical analysis. The AI processed the combat data in microseconds. Nexar crystal-based quantum systems operate on a fixed set of dimensional frequencies, calculating targeting solutions for maximum disruption effect. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Park suddenly announced. New contacts arriving through subspace. The tactical display lit up with new signals as more Nexar vessels emerged from subspace, their crystalline hulls gleaming. The reinforcements brought their total numbers to over 40 ships. They called for help, Chen observed grimly. Good, Santos replied, surprising her crew. More ships means more data. Area, are you seeing the pattern? Affirmative, Commander. All Nexar vessels use the same quantum frequency base for their technology. They never anticipated anyone being able to manipulate quantum fields at this level. Their standardization is their weakness. Santos turned to Singh. Prepare to broadcast the quantum disruption pulse on all frequencies we've identified. Let's show them exactly how much humanity understands about quantum mechanics. The Hyperion systems hummed with power as they prepared to unleash humanity's latest breakthrough in quantum warfare. The Nexar had made a critical mistake in assuming humans were primitive. They hadn't realized that humanity's greatest strength was its ability to take existing concepts and push them to new limits. Pulse ready, Singh reported. Field coverage will affect all Nexar vessels simultaneously. The Nexar reinforcements are preparing to fire, Park warned. Santos stood at the center of her bridge, embodying humanity's determination. Initiate the pulse. Let's give them a lesson in human ingenuity. The quantum disruption pulse activated, invisible to normal sensors, but devastating to the Nexar's crystalline technology. Across their fleet, ships began to lose power as their quantum-based systems failed. Their advanced technology, supposedly superior to anything humans could create, was being undone by humanity's deeper understanding of quantum mechanics. The Nexar commander's hologram reappeared, its crystalline form flickering with distortion. Impossible. How did you? You made the mistake of underestimating humanity, Santos replied. We don't just use technology. We understand it, improve it, and push it beyond its supposed limits. Now about that surrender. As the Nexar fleet hung powerless in space, Santos couldn't help but feel pride in humanity's achievement. They hadn't just defended themselves. They'd proven that human innovation and determination could overcome any technological gap. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity was far more advanced than anyone had suspected. Counterintelligence. As the disabled Nexar fleet drifted in space, Commander Santos knew the real battle was just beginning. The quantum disruption had given them an advantage, but the Nexar weren't known for accepting defeat easily. Multiple quantum signatures detected at the edge of the system, Park announced, his voice tense. They're bigger than anything we've seen before. The tactical display updated to show 3 massive vessels emerging from subspace. Each one dwarfed the previous Nexar dreadnoughts, their crystalline structures pulsing with an ominous red light. Nexar super dreadnoughts, Chen identified, his cybernetic eye rapidly analyzing the new threats. Those ships weren't in any of our intelligence briefings. Santos smiled slightly. No, they weren't. Area. Activate protocol mirror. The AI's blue presence expanded. Protocol mirror active. Accessing Nexar communication networks through quantum entanglement backdoors. This was humanity's hidden weapon. While the Nexar had been studying Earth's defenses, Humans had been infiltrating their quantum communications network. Every transmission, every data packet, had been carefully monitored and decoded. "Show me what they've been hiding," Santos ordered. The bridge's holographic display filled with intercepted Nexar tactical data. The super dreadnoughts were their latest weapons platforms, designed specifically to counter humanity's quantum technology advantage. But the Nexar had made a crucial mistake. They'd used their standard quantum encryption protocols to transmit the ship's specifications. "They still think their quantum encryption is unbreakable," Singh observed, studying the tactical data. "They don't realize we've been reading their transmissions for months." "Humanity's greatest advantage," Santos agreed. "We never assume anything is impossible." AI analyzed their command and control protocols. The AI processed the stolen data in microseconds. The super dreadnoughts use a hierarchical quantum control system. Their defensive capabilities are significantly advanced, but they follow the same basic architecture as their smaller vessels. In other words, Chen translated, they made a bigger version of what we just defeated. Santos nodded. Typical Nexar thinking. When one approach fails, they simply scale it up rather than innovate. She turned to Singh. "Do we have their command codes?" "Better than that," Singh replied with a grin. "We have their entire command structure mapped. Every authorization protocol, every emergency procedure. They encrypted everything through their quantum network, thinking it was secure." The super dreadnoughts moved into attack formation, their massive weapons charging. On the surface, they appeared unstoppable, each one powerful enough to devastate an entire colony. "They're broadcasting a demand for our immediate surrender," Park reported. "The message is coming from High Admiral Cathor himself." "Send them our response," Santos ordered. "But first, ARIA, implement Ghost Protocol Variant Theta." The AI's presence pulsed with acknowledgement. Variant Theta active. Initiating quantum mirage effect. Around the Hyperion, space itself seemed to ripple. The ship's quantum field generators created multiple layers of distorted reality, making it impossible for the Nexar to determine which dimension the ship actually occupied. "Message sent," Park confirmed. "They're responding with confusion, Commander. Their sensors aren't just failing to lock onto us. They're showing thousands of phantom signatures." Santos allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. "That's because we're not just hiding from their sensors anymore. We're feeding false data directly into their command network. Every scanner, every targeting system, is telling them exactly what we want them to see." The super dreadnoughts opened fire, their crystalline beam weapons powerful enough to tear through normal matter. But they were firing at illusions, their own compromised networks feeding them false targeting data. "They're trying to switch to manual control," Chen reported, "cutting off their automated systems." "Too late," Santos replied. "ARIA, execute program labyrinth." The AI initiated the final phase of humanity's counterintelligence operation. Through the quantum entanglement backdoors they'd planted throughout the Nexar network, they now had access to every system, every control mechanism. "Their own ships are turning against each other," Park exclaimed, as the super dreadnought's weapons suddenly targeted their allies. Santos watched as confusion spread through the Nexar fleet. Their supposedly unbreakable quantum encryption had been their undoing, allowing humanity to turn their most powerful weapons into a trap of their own making. "Incoming transmission from High Admiral Cathor," Park announced. "He's demanding to know how we penetrated their security." "Put him through," Santos ordered, straightening her uniform. The holographic image of the Nexar High Admiral appeared, his crystalline form radiating fury. "What sorcery is this? How are you controlling our ships?" "Not controlling, Admiral," Santos corrected. "We simply help them see things our way. Your quantum encryption was impressive, but you forgot one crucial detail. Humans are very, very good at finding patterns. Once we understood how your quantum communication worked, the rest was just creative problem-solving." The Admiral's form pulsed with rage. "Impossible. Our systems are perfect." Perfect systems don't exist, Santos replied. That's something humanity learned long ago. We expect flaws, plan for them, and more importantly, we learn from them. Your empire's mistake was assuming that technological superiority meant absolute security. As if to emphasize her point, the super dreadnought's weapons powered down, their control systems completely compromised by humanity's quantum infiltration. Now, Santos continued, shall we discuss terms, or would you prefer a demonstration of what else we've learned from your secure networks? The silence that followed was profound. The Nexer, who had considered themselves the masters of quantum technology, were being outmaneuvered by a species they had dismissed as primitive. Their own overconfidence had given humanity the tools needed to defeat them. As Santos prepared to lay out humanity's terms, she reflected on the irony. The Nexer had come to conquer what they thought was an inferior race, only to discover that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their ability to understand and subvert the technology of others. The neural network. As the Nexer fleet hung powerless in space, Aria's holographic presence suddenly pulsed with urgent activity. Commander, I'm detecting massive quantum disturbances throughout the sector. Multiple hostile fleets are emerging from subspace. The tactical display lit up with new contacts as hundreds of Nexer vessels appeared, surrounding the Hyperion and the disabled super dreadnoughts. This wasn't just a battle fleet, it was an entire armada. They're not just from the Nexer Dominion, Chen observed, his cybernetic eye analyzing the new arrivals. Those are vessels from their allied species. They've called in every favor they have. Santos remained calm, watching the enemy ships take position. They still don't understand what they're dealing with. Aria, initiate neural convergence protocol. The AI's presence expanded throughout the bridge, connecting with every system and crew member through their neural interfaces. Neural convergence active, linking with Earth Defense Network now. This was humanity's most closely guarded secret, not just the advanced AI systems they developed, but the seamless integration between human and artificial intelligence. Through their neural interfaces, the crew could process tactical data at superhuman speeds, while ARIA learned and adapted from their intuition and creativity. Multiple targeting locks, Park reported, his consciousness partially merged with his sensor systems through the neural link. They're coordinating their attack patterns through quantum encryption we haven't decoded yet. They're learning, Singh added, her thoughts flowing directly into the weapon systems. Using new frequencies, new protocols. Trying to stay ahead of our counterintelligence. Santos smiled. But they're still thinking linearly. Aria, show them what true adaptation looks like. The AI initiated its most advanced protocols, its quantum processors working in perfect harmony with the human minds connected to the system. Through the neural network, ARIA could instantly share tactical insights with the crew, while simultaneously learning from their split-second decisions and intuitive leaps of logic. Hostile fleet launching first wave, Chen announced. New weapon signatures detected. They're using some kind of cascading quantum disruption field. Analyzing attack pattern, ARIA responded instantly, cross-referencing with historical battle data and crew intuition, generating countermeasures. The neural link allowed Santos to see the battle from multiple perspectives simultaneously. Raw sensor data merged with tactical analysis and human insight. Through this enhanced perception, she could spot patterns that neither human nor AI could see alone. They're trying to overload our quantum field generators, she realized. ARIA, implement defensive pattern Echo 7, but modify it based on Lieutenant Singh's targeting solutions. The AI instantly understood, combining its vast computational power with Singh's intuitive grasp of weapon harmonics. The Hyperion's defensive systems reconfigured themselves in ways that would have been impossible to calculate without the neural link between human and AI. The first wave of enemy fire struck their defenses and dissipated harmlessly. The Nexer allies, expecting to overwhelm the single human vessel, paused in confusion. Their attack pattern was predictable, Aria analyzed. Based on historical data, There is a 94.3% probability their next move will be to attempt a surrounding quantum pincer movement. But they'll be expecting us to expect that, Santos countered through the neural link. They're learning from their mistakes. Park, what does your gut tell you? The neural interface allowed Park to process vast amounts of sensor data while still maintaining his human intuition. The fleet movements. There's something off about their formation. It's too perfect, too textbook. A trap within a trap, Santos concluded. Araya, run simulation Alpha 9 using Park's intuition as a baseline. The AI's quantum processors created millions of battle scenarios in microseconds, filtered through the lens of human insight provided by the neural link. Confirmed. They are attempting to duplicate our quantum ghost protocol, but their version is flawed. They understand the mechanics but not the underlying principles. Santos felt a surge of pride through the neural network, both from her human crew and, surprisingly, from ARIA itself. The AI had developed its own form of pride in human accomplishment, learning not just from their tactical decisions, but from their emotional responses as well. Show them the difference between copying technology and truly understanding it, Santos ordered. Full neural convergence, all systems. The bridge crew's consciousness merged more deeply with ARIA and the ship's systems. Through their combined perception, they could see every detail of the battle with perfect clarity. Every ship movement, every energy signature, every quantum fluctuation. The enemy fleet launched their attack, their copied version of the Ghost Protocol, creating multiple phantom images of their ships. But through the neural convergence, the Hyperion's crew could instantly distinguish the real vessels from the fakes. Their imitation of our technology is like a child drawing a picture of a starship. Singh observed through the neural link. They have the basic shape, but none of the substance. Then let's show them what the real thing can do, Santos commanded. ARIA. Execute Combat Solution Omega. The AI implemented the battle plan created through the perfect fusion of human creativity and machine precision. The Hyperion moved with impossible grace, its weapons striking with pinpoint accuracy through the gaps in the enemy's copied quantum fields. They're trying to adapt their tactics, Chen reported, his cybernetic systems feeding tactical data directly into the neural network. But they can't match our speed of response. Every move they make, we're already 3 steps ahead. Through the neural convergence, Santos could feel the confusion and fear spreading through the enemy fleet. They had expected to face a primitive species barely capable of spaceflight. Instead, they had encountered something unprecedented, the perfect synthesis of human intuition and artificial intelligence. Send them a message, Santos ordered. Let them know exactly what they're facing. ARIA transmitted the communication, its words carrying the weight of both machine precision and human emotion. Your technology can be copied, but human innovation cannot. We don't just use our tools. We understand them, improve them, and most importantly, we grow with them. This is humanity's true strength. As the enemy fleet's copied quantum fields began to fail under the Hyperion's precise attacks, Santos reflected on the irony. The Nexer and their allies had sought to overwhelm humanity with superior numbers and stolen technology. Instead, they had learned a crucial lesson about the difference between using technology and truly mastering it. Victory conditions. Through the neural convergence network, Commander Santos felt a subtle shift in the battle's momentum. The enemy fleet's coordination was breaking down, their copied technology failing under the Hyperion's relentless assault. But something else was happening, something that had been part of humanity's plan from the very beginning. Commander, ARIA announced, its presence resonating through the neural link. We're detecting quantum signatures from Earth Defense Command. Operation Enlightenment is commencing. Santos allowed herself a small smile. Right on schedule. Show me. The tactical display expanded to show hundreds of quantum rifts opening throughout the sector. From each rift emerged Earth defense vessels, their designs similar to the Hyperion, but each specialized for different aspects of warfare. The trap was finally closing. Send the signal to Admiral Chen's fleet, Santos ordered. It's time to show them everything. The neural network hummed with increased activity as Earth's true military capability was finally revealed. The Hyperion hadn't been a lone defender. It had been bait, drawing out the galaxy's most powerful forces so humanity could demonstrate its full strength. Multiple quantum broadcasts detected, Park reported through the neural link. The Galactic Council is watching. Their observation vessels just dropped their cloaking fields. This had been the true objective all along, not just defeating the Nexer, but doing it in front of the galaxy's ruling bodies. Humanity had orchestrated this entire conflict to force diplomatic recognition. The Nexer fleet is attempting to regroup, Singh announced. They're trying to establish a defensive formation around their command ships. Let them. Santos replied. HFY, initiate final phase of Operation Enlightenment. The AI's presence expanded further, connecting not just with the Hyperion's crew, but with every Earth vessel in the sector. Through this vast neural network, thousands of human minds worked in perfect harmony with their artificial counterparts. Transmitting on all frequencies, HFY announced. The galaxy will witness what happens next. Santos stood at her command station. Her consciousness merged with both her crew and her ship. When she spoke, her words carried the weight of all humanity. To the Nexer Dominion and your allies. You came to our space believing us to be primitive, easy prey for your expansion. You judged us by our apparent technological level, never questioning why a species capable of quantum manipulation would maintain such a modest appearance. Through the neural network, she could sense the growing realization among the enemy fleet. The Hyperion's various capabilities hadn't been desperate innovations of a primitive species. They had been carefully planned revelations of humanity's true power. We could have revealed ourselves sooner, Santos continued. We could have joined the Galactic Council years ago. But we chose to wait, to learn, to understand how the galaxy truly functioned. And what we learned was troubling. The tactical display showed more Earth ships emerging from quantum rifts, each one demonstrating capabilities that the Nexer had thought impossible. Not just quantum ghost protocols and neural networks, but technologies that fundamentally altered the nature of space-time itself. Your civilization, your entire alliance, is built on stagnation, Santos declared. You don't innovate. You conquer and copy. You don't evolve. You simply accumulate the achievements of others. Humanity refuses to participate in such a system. Through the neural link, HFY shared tactical data showing the enemy fleet's growing desperation. Their copy technologies were failing one by one, unable to match the originals they were based on. We're not here to conquer or destroy, Santos continued. We're here to change things. The galaxy needs what humanity has always had in abundance: creativity, innovation, and most importantly, the courage to challenge what others claim is impossible. The Hyperion systems pulsed with energy as they prepared for the final demonstration. Around them, the combined Earth fleet moved into formation, their quantum fields synchronizing through the neural network. Your fleet is disabled but intact, Santos announced. Your crews are unharmed. We could have destroyed you at any time, but that was never our goal. Instead, we offer you a choice: retreat to your territories and maintain your isolation, or join us in building something new. The silence that followed was profound. Through the quantum broadcasts, the entire galaxy watched as the mighty Nexer fleet hung powerless before a civilization they had dismissed as primitive. The Galactic Council is hailing us, Park reported. They're requesting diplomatic contact. Santos nodded, satisfaction flowing through the neural network. Accept the transmission. It's time for humanity to take its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors or subjects, but as innovators and teachers. As the diplomatic channels opened, Santos reflected on humanity's journey to this moment. They had hidden their true capabilities not out of fear, but out of wisdom. They had waited until they could demonstrate not just their technological prowess, but their fundamental understanding of how power should be used. The Hyperion's mission had never been about winning a battle. It had been about changing the course of galactic civilization itself. Through careful planning, advanced technology, and the unique combination of human intuition and artificial intelligence, they had orchestrated a revolution without firing a single fatal shot. "Send word to Earth," Santos ordered. "Operation Enlightenment is complete. The real work begins now." As the Galactic Council's representatives prepared to board the Hyperion, humanity stood ready to guide the galaxy toward a future where innovation and cooperation would replace conquest and stagnation. The war had been won not through destruction, but through understanding. Humanity's greatest strength had proven to be not their weapons, but their vision of what the galaxy could become.